Hey, everybody, you are watching The Main Viewer. Brent Spiner announces that he'll play a brand new character in the upcoming season of Star Trek Picard. Lower Decks just completed its second season, and we're about to give you our way too early Strange New Worlds preview. Or is it never too early Strange New Worlds preview?
I think we're too early for now.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say or not.
Well, let's get started. Let's introduce you to everybody. Actually, first, let's say this. We're going to be going over Star Trek news of the week. We also heard that someone went into actual space last week. We'll definitely have a few words about that. And lastly, only if we have time, we will have the big return of an old VTC favorite. Any guesses?
Ooh.
Any guesses?
Marco Lema.
Star Trek Day trivia from the Star Trek Day trivia game. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God,
So now,
so much fun.
Yay, that was great.
so stay tuned for that. And now let's introduce everybody. Okay, here we go. Buckle up. He is the star of the Seventh Rule and the star of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Well, one of the stars of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Cirroc Lofton.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Awesome.
I just want to give a shout out to my girl Shannon, who makes these really cool masks. I don't know if you guys saw her passing these out at Creation. If you're looking to find her, she's on Etsy.com under Kenona Lei. That's Kenona with a K and Lei Lei. And
that's Hawaiian, right?
Yeah, but she made these really cool masks. I've been using the other ones she gives me, but they're like pretty awesome. And I like the pattern.
Oh, you look so cute.
Good fit too.
I like good fit, like the pattern, like the fabric, and the designs are really cool. So check her out. And thanks, Mohamed, for the pecans.
Yes. Nice shout out there. Okay, now next. She likes her space rocks like she likes her hoagies. Meteor. Two-time Emmy Award nominee, meteorologist Katie.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, two-time nominee and now new cat mom. This is little Doppler, and she's just as excited as I am to be here. She can't even sit still. She's just brimming with excitement, overflowing with it. And she just ran away. I'm great. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome.
Nobody else in your household has that much energy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I wonder who else could.
Well, I can tell you, he's the Dean of Natural Sciences at Duke University, as well as an occasional science consultant for Star Trek. And he has as much energy as Doppler the kitten, Dr. Mohamed Noor.
Hey, very happy to be here. Thanks for having me back on the show. Always happy to be on.
Okay. He's the co-founder of Falling Tower, the band, the production company, the gargantuan YouTube channel, The Myth, Michael Kenyon Rosenberg.
I'll try not to be so mythic today. I'll try to just bring myself down off of Mount Olympus and hang out with all you other mortals.
We're so honored.
Speaking of mortals, she's the associate producer of The Seventh Rule, as well as Virtual TrekCon's resident web crawler, mortal Dr. Anne-Marie Segal.
Hey.
Hello, thanks for having me.
All right, fun's
And
over, guys.
our host.
My name's Ryan. I'm wearing a Quark's Bar and Grill shirt from the Star Trek Experience in Las Vegas. Remember that? Oh, God, I miss it so much.
I wish I had been old enough to go.
I miss it so much. Everybody that's just listening in, this shirt is glorious. It's the most beautiful baby puke yellow or whatever. I don't know what this color is, but it's nostalgic and I miss it.
I think it's more giraffe puke green.
Yeah.
It has a little foliage in it. Yeah, see that green tint.
Okay, so before we get nose deep into this, some quick news. Virtual TrekCon had its third Sunday mini-con a couple days ago, and it was amazing, of course. thank you to everyone that participated. By the way, Mohamed, Katie, and Anne-Marie are conspiring right now to have a second live science power panel. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it was pretty awesome.
Just exciting to be able to nerd out.
Probably won't be this coming weekend, but this weekend, this Sunday will be awesome as well. So stay tuned to that. We're going to tell you all about that, as well as everything to look forward to for the rest of the week a little later on. As for right now, okay, news. William Shatner went into space. Cirroc Lofton, as a fellow astronaut and Star Trek actor. Any thoughts on that?
Wow, that is amazing. I hadn't heard about it. No one was talking about it. No, I'm glad he made it back, because my first thought was he's going to die in space, and that would be kind of really cool but tragic at the same time.
It's a good way to go.
It's kind of a good way to go for him and his character, but I was, I'm glad he made it back, and it kind of seems like, I guess, the whole life imitating art imitating life type of circular pattern that we have in life, and the fact that he's done it now, it kind of makes sense, because now it just makes everything else he did more true in some sense or another. So
by far the oldest now who's done it, right? Because I think the previous record was 82, and now he's 90 up there. So it's a giant leap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was worried about him. I was like, because you go on the ride at Magic Mountain, and there's a height limit to get on the roller coaster. But apparently you can be 100 and still go to space, so that's a good thing. But no, I'm happy for him. It seems like we're moving in a direction where he won't be the only one, and there will be a lot of other people that get to live the life that I did for 7 years, looking out at the stars from a window.
For 7 seconds. Then he started to fall again.
Yeah. But the only Klingons that he was fighting were his tidy whities.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I had to make some dumb Klingon joke, probably.
Yeah.
Ryan liked that way too much.
Yes. Well, we were all thinking
that was a Ryan joke, actually. Ryan projected it into my mind, and it just forced itself out of my mouth.
I do not project Klingons.
Well, what did you think about it, Ryan? What did you think about him going to space?
I had the same initial concern, because I know that as far as like NASA and all those kind of things, organizations go, there is an enormous amount of training, physical training, so that to be sure that people can handle the rigors of not just being up in space, but that initial launch. I mean, those are G forces and stuff. And I don't know.
I learned that on I Dream of Genius. They had a lot of training.
No, this is not.
Yeah, but they were astronauts and they had tons of training to go into space.
Well, then there you go.
Yeah, but that was like 60s technology, though. This is like 2021 technology. It's probably a lot easier to go up into space now.
Oh, that's
Who knows?
Smoother ride.
I don't know much about that,
More
or the differences or similarities between, say, NASA and those organizations and the ones that are more privately owned.
Yeah,
So
I think
really
the training is online now or through Zoom.
There's an app for it. You just download an app for $1.99.
Yeah, a lot less physical.
Yeah, most of the NASA missions are 12 minutes too. So
there you go.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I was concerned because you don't want to think that, but I mean 90. Good Lord, like 90.
Yeah.
That is a legitimate number. That is a significant amount of decades. But apparently it all went well, and apparently Shatner had some very moving and emotional feelings about it and words to share about it, which was great. And I think for a moment there, everybody kind of came together and read his words and watched his video, and just about everybody, and was moved by how much he was moved. I think that was, at least to me, I felt like that was the most special moment was seeing a 90-year-old being moved by something that maybe was one of the most powerful experiences of his life. And you can kind of live vicariously through somebody when you see how affected they are by something. So that was pretty cool. And I was glad to see that kind of hopping around Twitter for a day, that reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Anne-Marie was a little
started
annoyed
crying,
by
I was
it.
just like,
Wait, what'd you say?
Yeah.
I was a little by it.
Annoyed by it. She's like, oh my God.
Okay, first of all, I told you, that I love William Shatner and Captain Kirk. And my first response was I wanted to join the Mile High Club with him. And then my other
with Kirk or Shatner, and at what age group?
The 50-mile club with him.
Any age. But,
about 66 kilometers.
But I think it's just a really beautiful moment to think like somebody who was on a TV show in the 60s. Like no one could have ever dreamed that like this B show, the captain, like years later would actually be in space. That's just really contemplative.
Yeah. Contemplative.
Yeah.
What I took away from that though is Bill Shatner, if you're watching, you got a shot with Dr. Anne-Marie Segal.
Mm-hmm. I know you're single.
That's what you took away.
That's my takeaway, yeah.
Dr. Anne-Marie Single.
You can DM
me. Mohamed, did you have any thoughts that were not covered last week? Because I feel like everybody was kind of throwing out ideas. I don't know if you had.
Yeah, nothing that you guys didn't already say. Yeah, I mean, I was like you all. I was nervous about the fact that he was that old going up. On the other hand, there are upsides to it in the sense that one of the concerns from going into space is like cosmic ray exposure, which could cause some sort of long-term cancer effect. But like when you're 90, like probably that's not going to affect you.
Yeah,
you're probably going to be fine.
Yeah. I don't want to take away from his moment or anything, but I was asked to do this a few years ago when another space company was sending stuff up into space.
Ooh.
And I was asked by this company, and I'm not supposed to say, but it's owned by a billionaire who also owns a car company.
So
Elon Musk.
That only narrows it down to like one.
Yeah. So they wanted me to drive the car that they sent into space, and I told them that I didn't think it would be good for my career.
Yeah.
To be launched in space in the front seat of a Tesla.
That could have negative repercussions.
I was very amused by those like Amazon Prime Directive memes.
Okay.
Like, that was
gosh, yes. Or the one where he's looking out the window and he turns around, he's like, and people edit like Star Wars scenes and
or
Star
like
Trek,
that
like
Twilight Zone
out there.
Yeah.
Like somebody's on a wing of a plane. Like there were so many good ones. It was a great day.
Yeah.
Cirroc, a lot of people got really excited when you first started telling your story. We wanted it to be true. And the whole time we were all scared. Like, is this?
I could tell. I was
It
like,
just turned out to be a Ryan joke.
No, we've been boimed.
We hope it was an Enterprise rent-a-car.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got boimed, and that's okay. Anne-Marie, do you remember we were talking about a few days ago? We were talking about Eve England. Do you want to break the news?
We talk about Eve England all the time because she's amazing.
Yeah.
But at the end of season 2 with Lower Decks, there's a ready room hosted by Will Wheaton, and at the end, I think it was the end, they showed like a reel of all the fan art that's been made or cosplay that's been done in honor of Lower Decks. And our friend Eve England was featured with her caisson in the medium that she loves to create art with, gingerbread.
Oh my God.
Yum.
She did a little caisson puppet and sign in gingerbread that is so accurate. Of course, everybody went wild about it. And then, of course, it was featured on the Ready Room because it's just amazing.
He's so talented.
That detail.
Yeah. Absolutely love it. Big shout out to Eve England, an associate producer of The Seventh Rule, way out in Wales, one of our favorite humans, super talented and all of her art looks delicious, and that's really cool that she got featured. There were a couple other people featured, right?
Oh yeah,
Anne-Marie in that?
our friend Callie from Lambda Quadrant was featured in the Tendi cosplay makeup, and then also with the tricorder with the purple stripe that they 3D printed. That got special mention.
Whoa.
Also, our friend Brie Belkey was dressed as Boimler in that like that cool jacket that was like half leather, half like another material.
Yeah.
That looked really cool. So they were on the same page for their shout outs. Super
The
fun.
fact that that jacket exists in this world, I need to have it.
Oh, I know. I don't know how she made it. It looks gorgeous.
Well, right now, Eve England's getting a lot of love in the live chat. Scott
Aw.
Jensen says, "We love Eve."
Totally.
Dr. Mohamed Noor says, "Yay, Eve." David Gregory says, "Aw, Eve." Heart.
Aw.
Chuck A says, "Yes, Eve." Melissa Longo says, "Eve England is a brilliant cookie baker." And then Jim Westbrook just says, "Wow, that is cool."
Mhm. Oh, cookieologist.
Cute.
That's a good term from J.R. Poole.
Yeah,
that's
but
good.
they're gingerbread. Well, I guess gingerbread is a cookie.
Is a
in that.
cookie, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
It's like
the
a
blog.
rectangle and a square. Not every cookie is gingerbread, but every gingerbread is a cookie.
So Eve, by the way, Eve is sleeping right now out in Wales. So she has no idea. We could be
Oh.
saying horrible things and she'd have no idea. But that's really cool. Yeah, we love Eve and we love her gingerbread cookie art. And we're looking forward to her Prodigy line, which will be coming soon, I'm sure.
The line. I love it.
I just
Check
thought of
this out.
something really quick. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
But a Star Trek short made with gingerbread
Yes.
cookies.
That's
Like claymation, but cookiemation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And then when they get their arms like blown off in a battle, like you get to nibble.
Yeah. A little treat for the camera guys.
Yeah.
I'm just
That's a great
saying.
idea.
I'm just saying.
Mhm.
Brilliant. I love it.
It'll be like Jason and the Argonauts, that skeleton scene, but with red shirts. Am I the only one? Okay.
No, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Katie, you can't you
catch his
can't blame
back,
age
Michael.
on this one. That movie came out before any of us was born, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
No, I was
okay,
thinking of Gumby. Wasn't it Gumby? Like
Yeah.
a little
Gumby.
thing.
Oh yeah.
Or Mr.
Oh.
Bill.
Thinking-
Oh, Mr. Bill. Oh.
Oh no.
Yeah. Used to watch that like it was so good.
like it was so good.
It is so good.
That's an accurate
was.
description.
It used to be good.
Here's another piece
It
of
was so good.
here's another piece of news. By the way, everybody, we're going to be talking about Strange New Worlds in a bit. We're going to be talking about Picard and Brent Spiner's new role. This is like crazy stuff. I'm really excited about that, actually. But real quick, at last year's Virtual TrekCon 2, our good friend and actress Tracy Coco was made into a Cardassian by Star Trek makeup artist Thomas Supernant, right? She was, actually,
Yes.
what am I doing? Let's just show it.
It's
The
really
whole
pretty
video?
kiss
Check it out.
eyelashes that I want
And
to
look
buy.
at how cool she looks.
That's
Isn't that
amazing.
awesome?
Wow.
And this was
Amazing.
Thomas working on her, doing all this. This was Virtual TrekCon, right? So somebody actually turned her into a
Wow.
It's actually top tier figures who was at the VTC2 promenade.
yes.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Ah.
Love it.
Michael did an impression of a lion yawning. So that was top tier figures, you said, right, Anne-Marie?
Yeah. And they really captured that like blue spoon that women
Right.
Cardassians have.
Perfect.
Mhm.
I feel like I could eat a bowl of cereal with it. Like that's how you get the costume right.
So cute.
Okay. So shout out to Tracy. Actually, we should have her on the show sometime. She's great. We love her.
Yeah.
Do they make that
now-
from scratch, or is it like they take an existing one and like alter it? Like, how do they do that?
Looks like the latter.
Cannibalized the
Okay.
Barbie and just
I speculated secretly as to what previous figure that was from Voyager, but we'll keep.
Oh, got
Ah, Siska.
a little speculation.
Mike loves to just say the word that we're all skirting around. Okay, but let's change channels to Lower Decks. You just finished their second season.
I seen it.
But what were your thoughts on the second season, Michael?
I liked it.
That's it.
It was goom. It was very goom. Yeah.
Very to the point.
Not for babies.
I almost said that.
Oh yeah, this is twice now that I've watched a Star Trek episode semi in public where I had to slam it shut so no one would know.
No one would see what.
Yeah. It was noticeable how much they pushed the envelope a lot more than the first season, than in a couple of scenes in this one. But it also was like super funny, and I especially like the last couple of episodes. I mean, I thought it just overall, I thought it was great. I'm sorry, I'm just jumping in here. I thought overall, it was great.
I was done.
No, okay.
I said that I liked it and it was good.
Yeah.
But how'd you
Speaking
feel
of
about
which,
the beluga whales?
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, the cetacean ops. That was awesome.
You look sweaty.
Cetacean ops, yeah.
So
everybody at home, Mohamed is wearing a cetacean ops shirt. So check that out. Yeah, you see that, Cirroc?
So
How cool is that?
Man.
Anyway, sorry, was it you, Katie? Were you talking?
Oh. Anne Marie was.
I was helping with the To Proudly Go viewing parties on Saturdays for Lower Decks specifically. And so we were playing the finale this week. And I have never heard so much cheering for a Star Trek episode than when the beluga whales were on screen. It was so adorable. It was just like, first of all,
they were sassy too, huh? I love them. They were
so
super sassy.
And the party was like standing room only by the finale week. So like this show is totally caught on and is really blown up and like appealing to everybody. It's so fun to see.
And were they flirting with Rutherford? I had heard.
Yeah.
It seemed like you're
very strongly.
Yeah, hop that sweaty body in here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You look sweaty.
Beluga whales were already one of my favorite animals. And then the second I saw them, I was like, this is going to be my favorite.
Oh my gosh. I just love that one is named Matt. So cute.
Like I said, it was very goom.
That's French for good, I bet.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you should know.
Oh yeah, shoot.
Frenchy.
It's not French for good, actually. It's not at all.
Well, then why you keep saying it to me all the time?
I don't know. But I don't know. Cirroc, you and I have talked about Lower Decks quite a bit on our review show, The Seventh Rule, by the way. Before we get to that, everybody at home, Katie's got Radar and Doppler. If she gets a third kitty sibling, what should the cat's name be? Okay, so give us that right now in the live chat.
That's the forecast.
Honestly,
Doppler radar forecast.
Yeah. See, if I don't find a guy in the next like 5 years, I'm just gonna get every cat that I see. So it'll probably happen. Yeah.
So Cirroc, we kind of went over and said just about everything that we ever wanted to say about Lower Decks, but any final thoughts on season 2? And yes, one final acknowledgement: Doppler radar forecast. That's very funny. That's very funny.
That's the front runner right now.
So, what do you think, Cirroc? Any final thoughts on the season?
It's a good show. It's fun to watch. It's easy on the eyes. It's easy on the ears. They go for certain kind of adult humor in situations, which is funny, and it works. And the show has really quickly grown on me as far as, looking forward to watching it and enjoying the time that I am. It passes by really quickly. And sometimes you have to rewind stuff just to get it, or to catch stuff that you're looking for. So, I mean, I like the animation too. The animation is really well done. The characters are just enough, not too realistic looking, but realistic enough. and the exterior shots are first class in my opinion. So yeah, this show, like I've said before, Ryan, I think it's going to be like the longest running Star Trek show, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
It has the potential
I really
for
hope
that.
It is.
It's entirely possible. I mean, it seems like right now it's going to go on as long as they want it to, really.
The actors just never seem to age.
That's crazy.
It's a real Simpsons Bob's
Characters.
Burgers situation.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, I
I've
love that you
never
mentioned
seen
the animation style because that really is like make or break for me. I don't know what it is, but like, I don't know, Star Trek Prodigy, I'm just like, oh, I don't know if I'll be able to make it through this because like the 3D motion. Now, Lower Decks is the perfect version of animation in my mind.
It looks like you've got a Prodigy background, do you?
It is the Witch's Brew Nebula, but it could end
wow.
up being in the show. Who knows?
Because those are the colors that are
That's so
predominant
Shakespearean.
in Prodigy and like the title sequence. It was using that kind of turquoise and magenta.
Yeah, that it's a nice color combo. I think it looks good, but you know, the 3D animation, and I'm just like, so.
By the way,
And I'm
Chuck,
going to Katie. I think you
just
said
gonna
something
say-
important. Oh,
I
sorry.
was just going to say real quick that Chuck A and the live chat, I don't know if this was on purpose or by accident, but when we were talking about cat names, he said Dupler. And I don't know if he meant Doppler, but like Dupler is a good one because that's a lower decks.
That's hilarious.
Because that would be a duplicate of
Oh my
Doppler would be a dupler.
Yes,
Like a
Oh,
lower-
wow.
That's adorable.
that could
That's-
work.
I don't know if it was on
That
purpose or
could
by accident, but that is solid.
That is
Anyway, what were you
very
saying,
good.
Cirroc?
No, I think Katie said something that was important, and
I did. Yay.
yeah, I mean, no, I
Happened.
thought you had important to me, and because it resonated with me as far as that's how I feel about something. And what you said was the animation in the new one, you're hesitant or questioning how well you're going to accept it based on what you visually are seeing. And I had that same kind of thought in the back of my head when I first saw it. I was saying to myself, am I going to buy this? You know, like, is it going to be, are they selling me with this particular anime? Because sometimes there's certain animation that maybe it looks too kiddie or non-believable or something. I don't know what it is, but it's just not pleasant on the eye. And it's just doesn't allow you to sell the story. So I'm not sure if that's going to work for me. That's what I'm saying. The other one, the new show.
Prodigy.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
We'll
I noticed
see.
that Lower Decks, and we talked about this before, it seemed like they had two completely different animation teams for the ship interiors and the interiors of buildings and the interiors of everything, and a totally different group that did the exteriors, like the beautiful spacescapes, you know, like of the ships flying by, and you know, the anomalies and the planets and all that really looked amazing. I mean, the interiors were cool. They're great. They're easy. They weren't too stylized, you know, Cirroc, like kind of how you mentioned, like I do get taken out too if something is too stylized in their animation, but it was totally fine. It was totally good. But the exteriors were like mind blowing. So fingers crossed for Prodigy.
Yeah.
And
I was
I
like,
just had,
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the other thing I
Aw.
really loved about this season was just the character growth too. I mean, so I already liked the characters, but just the growth in each one of them too was very moving. And I think we talked about this last week too. Just they're just nice people. All of them really. They're just nice
I
people.
love that point that you made.
Yeah.
Like they are
Yeah.
so nice and they have like very good intentions, and I'm really starting to care about like even the ancillary characters and the main crew.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful. But I just wanted to mention too that if you follow, I'm putting it in the live chat, at Westlake79 on Twitter, he's posting, I guess he's the composer and conductor for the studio orchestra, and he's posting a bunch of like behind the scenes studio recordings of them doing the music for the scenes in specific episodes, which are really fun to watch. So I dropped the link at Westlake79. And then also really fast, I did not realize that Dawn Lewis is currently on Broadway right now doing playing the mother for Tina Turner and Tina the Tina Turner musical. She's
Wow.
so fantastic. So if you're in the neighborhood, she's just amazing to see on stage.
Yeah, so Dawn Lewis, everybody at home, she was in a different world. Can't remember the character name at the moment. Amory, you know it, right?
I
Tell
can't
us.
remember.
Okay. Anyway,
But I was just like,
she was
on the
like
stage.
the roommate, like
yeah,
right?
she was the older roommate lady. Yeah.
Mhm.
And she also plays the captain in Lower Decks, Captain Freeman. So that's how
She's
that is
amazing.
relevant. And you're saying she's on Broadway right now, huh?
Yes, which that makes Marina Kravchuk told me, well, we should have guessed that because that's why she was hosting the Prodigy like panel at New York Comic Con, where she professed her love for Chakotay, like her crush in the 90s watching Voyager. But that makes sense. She just like walked over a few blocks and did the panel and then walked back to Broadway. She's just
Wow.
amazing. Amazing
Imagine going to the
performance.
stage door after in like a Lower Decks uniform, and just standing out like all these social
Some
elites.
people
and
have
then,
said they might do that.
I kind of want to.
I mean, I feel like she would appreciate it because it appears that she really does like Star Trek.
It's just, Captain, hello.
So cute.
Weird looks from everyone else.
Looks like
David Gregory tells us
yeah, I was gonna
that,
say that.
Oh, go for
no,
it.
no,
yeah.
you said it first.
David Gregory says that Dawn Lewis was Jaleesa.
Jaleesa.
That
yep.
was the character.
How
And
did
when
I
every
not
time I hear
realize that?
Jaleesa, I think of what was her name? Whitney. She'd be like Jaleesa.
Whitley.
Jaleesa.
Whitley.
The way she
Oh my
said
god! Didn't you watch that? Didn't you see season 4?
it. Yeah. And one. Anyway. Any other final thoughts on Lower Decks season 2?
Thumbs up.
I'm just gonna keep rewatching it until there's season 3.
Not in public though.
Not in public. I've learned that lesson in an airport, nonetheless.
It's
So
like edgier
you
than
know,
Sex in the City.
I watched the Mocklin orgy episode of the Orville at the Phoenix airport. Insecurity.
Look at Ryan's
gosh.
face.
Help me.
Exotic.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's what they thought was happening.
You know, one thing I did want to say really quickly was that I noticed that 10 episodes is a season now for new shows. And I think eight for the first season of Discovery, if I'm not mistaken, but it was like something like that. For Picard or
had, I think
It was
it was
a
the
half
I think
season.
okay.
Yeah, Discovery had a
It was like
half
8 and
season
8.
that was like 8 or 9, and then it extended up to 15. But yeah, you're right. It seemed like that. Yeah.
It's more
Yeah.
the British TV show model. Like, hopefully it doesn't get as bad as Sherlock and you get 3 episodes every 4 years.
Let's
Yeah.
hope not.
yeah.
I would
I'm just-
cry.
I think Disco's listed for like 11 episodes this new season. We'll
Hmm.
see.
Short.
I'm like
I like it.
I'm just saying, under today's standards, that means like the old shows did like 15 seasons.
Oh my gosh, I know. I
True.
can't
It's
even
true.
imagine.
Good point.
And they were so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
I like
17 seasons.
They can put more into each episode now. So they can,
Well,
you don't have all those filler episodes.
yeah, but those filler episodes, as we're seeing when we're reviewing Deep Space Nine, Cirroc and I on the Seventh Rule, we're noticing that like you get some of the best moments in those filler episodes, these
I
bottle
love the
episodes,
fillers.
and you don't really remember them, from 20 years ago. But like when you rewatch them, you're like, wow, this is a really good episode. There's so much character growth. There's so much fun, intricate little things. But nowadays, everybody kind of clamors a bit for what happened to the 26 episodes. Okay, those are gone and they're never coming back, guys.
Mhm.
But the good news is with Star Trek is that if they're going to have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 series going at the same time, then that means you'll still have Star Trek year round. It'll just be like 10 episodes, I mean, if you have 5 series going and they're each doing 10 episodes, that's enough for a year round.
Mhm.
And I'm sure that's
take that.
kind of the goal.
Yeah.
know.
I watched
they
for the
don't-
filler. So like Lower Decks is giving me the filler that I was missing. For sure.
How dare you call it
I was
filler?
going to say, Lower Decks isn't filler.
Right now, it's the
Meridian,
standard.
Meridian.
Boo her! Boo this girl! Boo!
I'm just there for the filler. The pillar filler. Is
The
what
DS9
it's called.
Meridian, that was filler.
Oh, you're right.
That was that's the one we always kind of bring up as an example of the other.
It's no
end
precious
of-
cargo, but yeah.
So if that was filler, what's threshold?
Well, yeah,
It's
I
like-
feel
We're not
That's a
watching
cult
it.
classic.
We're not watching it.
yeah, that's a cult
Classic versus
classic for
filler.
sure.
Yeah, I
Special
wonder.
Release is fun, but that Meridian, that was just not fun.
That's what it is sometimes there are episodes that are so bad or have such bad aspects to them that they actually become fan favorites in a weird way, like cult classics, right?
Totally.
And it's
And the
definitely
Alan
happened
Moraine
with
one.
Threshold. But Alan Moraine.
Oh yeah, there's like an
Absolutely
Alan
right.
Moraine music,
Oh, yeah.
mixed
Dub
music video now on YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
yeah, I have to post that to Seven.
It's so bad, it's good.
Mhm.
It's so bad.
That's good.
That's
They're
it.
my favorite.
They are.
So I think now, before we move on to Strange New Worlds, Cirroc, we know you got to run, but we will be reconvening. We'll be having text wars tonight when the Warriors and the Lakers duke it out at
Oh, yeah.
7.
Oh yeah.
So I'll be
Cirroc's
looking
like, let
forward
me
to-
just turn my phone off.
You saw that? No. Yeah, we'll see what happens tonight. Lakers haven't won a game, so it's not looking good right now.
Yeah, but we get to start over. Lakers were what, 0-4, Warriors were 5-0, but doesn't matter. That's preseason. Start over.
Oh, they were just psyching you guys out.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Mike.
I don't know.
Just think at least you aren't the Lions.
Mike,
at
That's
least
the
we're not the
bottom
Lions.
line.
Mike,
That's-
what do you think about
that's
this
true.
basketball season?
No, sports things. I think sports things about it.
It's
Have you tried sports things, Michael?
Oh, I love sports things. I sport them up. I'll sport them down. I'll sport them all around.
Sorry about that, Mike. We'll get back on track now. Anyway, Cirroc, we'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Everybody, you can
All right,
find
guys.
Cirroc
Thank you.
very
Good to see you,
soon
Cirroc.
on a Sunday. We've got a review of Call to Arms with writer-producer Robert Hewitt Wolf. So look forward to that
Yeah.
this
Ooh.
Sunday.
Ooh.
Bye, guys. Bye,
Thanks,
everybody.
Cirroc.
Good seeing you
See you
guys.
soon.
Bye-bye.
See you.
All right. Everybody, all right,
I
it's
don't know
time to
why
get
he-
back to business.
I don't know why he had to run. He looks like he's in good shape already. So.
Great shape.
That's how you
Great.
maintain the shape.
Majoran Cowbell joke noise.
Okay. He's in great shape already.
Ah.
Love that thing.
Okay. So here's what is also in the news. I had missed this. This was who was it that first posted it out?
Oh, Lambda
To
Quadrant from
Lambda
Inverse.
Quadrant. Our good friends at Lambda Quadrant. This is an Inverse article from a week ago that went right under my nose. I missed it. But
Everyone's.
check this out, guys. Have you guys heard about it? Are we the only people that have actually heard about this? Check it out.
Well, Trek Movie just wrote about it today, but
Okay. Yeah, copy.
yeah.
Just kidding. We love Trek Movie, but check
oh,
it out.
Yellow Eyes. I love
He
that
says,
TV.
I can tell you I'm not Data. And conversation with Inverse. Although he played the hitherto unknown secret human brother of Data in season 1, Alton Soong, Spiner says he's not returning to play that character in season 2 of Picard. In fact, he's not playing any character that he's ever played before. It's not Lore, it's not Before, it's not Data. So this is very interesting because he's not going to play Alton Soong, who he played in the first season of Picard. Spoilers for anybody that hasn't seen it. They're like, what? Data's in Picard? So they also, this article was actually really cool because they came up with some pretty good,
Good.
speculations. Check it out. Could be playing another android member of the Soong family. I doubt that's the case because he doesn't really, unless there's like an aging process going on or something.
Well, also, I think I think Noonian was the first one to invent them in the 24th century.
Spiner might also be playing a human member of the Soong family we've never seen. Of course, that's another thing. It could be whatever, but because of time travel, it's possible that this Soong family member could be living in the 21st century, because we
That's what I'm
know,
most excited about.
right? We know that the Picard series is going to be going back into the past, into the 21st century. I think that's a very high likelihood. I think that's a very good guess. And hang on, the last one is Spiner might also be playing a new Soong family member, android or human, who only exists because of an alternate timeline that has been created, with going into the past. If that's the case, possibilities are literally endless, blah, 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 blah. There you go. Those are 3 really good.
Okay. This is my
All right, Anne-Marie,
favorite part that I want to ask you about.
We know you're dying to jump in on this.
Yeah,
so what do you think, Mike?
So
No, go ahead, Anne-Marie.
the picture with like Eric Soong
So what
and
I
the
think-
handcuffs on
okay.
Enterprise. So like now the speculation, continuing from that article, is if he's like a predecessor of the Soong family, is he kind of like good or evil? Also, if he works in the augment field, like genetics, could he have possibly like done something evil and been messing around to cause like some sort of like evil timeline to develop, which is why they're going back in time? So do you think he's good or evil? And I'm like so intrigued because I want to say evil or like bad or on the bad pathway, especially like with the augment war and everything. But I think a fun twist would be if he's a good guy to start. I don't know. And I don't know if Mohamed can comment either.
There is an alternative theory that no one's taking into account, because he never said he's a main character. They could just pop him in the forehead of the week and shove him in the background, and he'd still be there. True. And they would be punking us like, I would have put it past Modern Trek. So
that's true too.
I still love the idea that it's Brent Spiner as Brent Spiner. He's this actor.
Oh. If they go back to the 21st century and he's just playing himself.
So help me, they better go to a Comic-Con.
Oh my God, he's advertising for the book he just wrote.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's so meta.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I was going to use that word, meta. Metadata.
Oh my. Oh.
They have to go to a Comic-Con. Just like go and see all the other sci-fi stuff. What's the Star Wars everyone's talking about? And just bring it, make it into the universe. Or go to Disney.
They're playing Fistful of Datas, and he's Miss Annie.
What?
Oh.
Miss Annie?
Like the one who's like the brothel, the saloon woman.
Oh, right.
Product program was bad. I love that character of his.
Mm-hmm. Right. Who was it that did the really cool cosplay at Star Trek Las Vegas of that character?
That was my favorite cosplay. Well, Data as Miss Annie. So good.
So I don't know. What do you guys think? I kind of wanted to bounce this around because I thought that was actually a really good article. I like it when an article not only gives you the information, but they're like, well, here's more food for thought, because I already started kind of thinking of my theories. And I was like, oh, wait, there's more to this article. Let's check it out.
Do we know what the source of this article is?
Yeah, so I guess like Ryan Britt was doing an interview about Brent Spiner's book that just came out, and then he by mistake spilled the beans that he's actually playing a new character this season. So then that little tidbit got turned into an additional article.
But then Brent did say in the article or in the interview, he said, I am allowed to say that it's going to be a new character. So I don't know why he was waiting so long. He should have told us that, like he was waiting for a book interview for this. Like, tell us. That's exciting.
He's trying to sell his book.
Hidden stuff.
Maybe there's more information in the book.
The code.
21st century is after the eugenics war, right? Because I think it happened like the 1990s, supposedly. 90s,
so
right. Yeah. That's a weird concept now. Like, wait, what?
maybe that's what they're going back to. They're like, wait a second, that was an alternate timeline. It never happened.
Oh, there we go.
Although it's after the 90s, after the Bell riots, and then you see like the Sanctuary District signs in the background. So I'm not sure if it's exactly right after or when, or if it's an alternate. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think, Michael?
I'm very skeptical.
Oh, that's a
I got my
skeptical face.
skeptic hat on.
Skeptic tank.
Yeah, I mean, like, maybe it's just Spiner pulling our legs. You know how Spiner's such a little
Oh,
jokester.
oh my gosh, that's a great alternate theory.
That is a great theory.
Yeah. What if he's like allowed to say it because it's not true?
Right.
That's hilarious.
That is amazing.
Psych. Fooled you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Mohamed, I don't know. You are allowed to speak on this because you have not
I don't
worked
have anything
on
on Picard at all.
Do you have any thoughts or theories or wishes?
So,
If wishes were horses.
well, wish is it's still that it would actually be Brent Spiner as Brent Spiner. That's my wish, but I don't think that's gonna happen. That's
So great.
Speculation. I honestly would probably go with Anne Marie. So I'm guessing it's going to be some really old Soong member and probably some eugenics guy because Star Trek loves to make all the geneticists bad guys.
Oh.
Engineers are always who save the world, but
Yeah.
Hey, at least you get mentioned.
That's true. Good point. They have weather grid. That's all they have for weather, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean we're popular on Risa, but there's nothing else.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
Oh, I can't even wait. It was always such a thrill in the 90s every time when I was little and you'd see Brent Spiner in a new character. I just love it. It's so exciting. I love
It's like
it.
the Spider-Man meme where you're like pointing at each other.
Oh, yeah.
It's my favorite.
Well, we all know. I mean, like it's gonna be a Soong, right? I mean,
I don't know if I can assume that.
Oh, this is going to be a really great bridge to Strange New Worlds. Continue.
What?
All the Soong talk.
Oh,
Hey,
gotcha. Okay.
Soon enough, all right? Soon enough.
Yeah, very good.
Oh my god. 2 puns in the span of 20
my
seconds.
gosh.
I think that's a record.
No.
No.
All right. So Anne Marie is begging for us to just move on into the Strange New Worlds talk, which is kind of like, I don't know if it's the biggest news of the week, probably most definitely not, but Anne Soong Mount. But to me, it just felt like there's just the most to talk about because they finished filming last week, supposedly, right?
They finished the live action scenes.
Yeah, principal photography, theoretically, unless there's pickups or whatever. I don't know too much about that. But what we do know and what we haven't really discussed is the 7 or 8 characters that have been introduced. And many of them are either familiar characters or characters that we know something about. And luckily, we have a few original series experts because your expertise is going to come in handy in Strange New Worlds, I think. I think there are going to be a lot of things there because it takes place, like 7 or 8 years prior to original series. So what I did was I pulled up another article. This one seemed to be one of the most comprehensive one with really good pictures. I like, let's keep it simple. Just show me pictures. This was treknews.net. Check it out. Let me pull it up here. Shows all of the characters that have been announced since Star Trek Day or on Star Trek Day. We already know about Anson Mount. Yes, Anne-Marie?
Oh, and what species they are, I think, also.
Right. So Anson Mount, we know is going to be Christopher Pike. And we already knew Ethan Peck
Vulcan
as Spock. Half Vulcan.
Oh, correct. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, snap.
You got me there.
Rebecca Romaine as Mystique. She is Una Chin Riley. There's definitely something there. But here's where it gets really interesting. The new characters, right? Or the new actors and old characters, right? So we have Babs Olusanmokun.
He was in that character was in 2 episodes of TOS. And I remember there was a scene where Spock had been hurt and McCoy had him helping heal Spock, saying that, oh, this guy did an internship in a Vulcan a medic thing or something like that. So he was
Mhm.
an expert on Vulcan medicine, but he was also just another episode, just kind of there too, helping out in the sick bay. So yeah, it's nice seeing that character come back.
I love that world building of like where people are doing their internships. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, Mohamed, since you kind of went into detail a little bit more about Mbanga, is it Mbanga or Mbanga?
Oh, I don't remember the pronunciation. I'm sorry.
Mbanga. I believe
I've always
it's
called
a
it Mbanga.
Mbanga.
Oh, interesting. I've heard
Mbanga.
recently. I've heard people say "ma," but
Like
I
Mores?
think in the
Mbanga.
original series it was
Yeah.
Mbanga. It was just kind of like fluid.
I think Katie's
Mbanga.
right. Yeah.
Okay, so here's an interesting thing. It's a little website called Memory Alpha, and it gave me a little bit more information on him that I didn't know, because these are things that were not really in those 2 episodes. Check this out real quick, everybody. So this is what was interesting to me. Background information. This character was actually created by Darlene Hartman in her purchased but never produced TOS script entitled Shoal.
This is interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, the notes for that script gave Dr. Mbanga's first name as Joseph, like Cisco, and note that he was originally a native of Uganda, which is also very cool. His brother, Commander Simon Mbanga, was the first officer of the USS Hope, a Federation hospital ship in the planned but never developed Star Trek spinoff Hope ship.
My
How much
God.
good stuff
This
is just
like
in that
This is
paragraph,
like a
right?
rabbit hole. I'll be
I
falling
know.
down.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's so
Just
many
that
links,
paragraph
too.
had 2 sentences. Had me blown away.
What the hell's
Yeah.
Hope ship?
I'm typing this in so I don't forget to dig down that rabbit hole. There we go.
I don't know. I would have loved to see a Star Trek spinoff
Dude, that is
about
some excellent
a
knowledge.
doctor ship.
Right. Yeah.
What was the name of Crusher's ship in the finale?
Pastor.
That Pastor. That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
the pastor.
Love that.
Okay, so there's a little bit more here. I'll go back to this.
Okay.
Pull that up. So an early draft of the script for Obsession, dated September 6, 1967, included a character by the name of Nurse Mbanga. However, in research notes submitted for that episode on September 29th of 66, DeForest Research, what? That was another thing. I was like, I need more time. I need more time to look into these things. DeForest Research? What's going on here?
Because I know we wrote a book, but like,
Yeah, DeForest Research noticed Mbanga is the name of a doctor in Private Little War, right, Mohamed, one of the 2 episodes. Now, in a later interdepartment communication between Gene Roddenberry and John Meredith Lucas, Roddenberry noted that regarding Nurse Mbanga, there's no such nurse existing in our spaceship. If we need a nurse, we use our semi-regular nurse, Chapel.
why do you think he recommended her?
Yeah, right. Who, by the way, is also in Strange New Worlds. More on that later. First draft of the script, that's which survives, misspelled his character name as Mboya. I don't know what that even is going on there. But here's something also interesting. Jean Laurel's novel, The IDIC Epidemic, gave his first name as Jeffrey. So he's got a second name. David Max Harbinger established his first name as Jabilo, a word for healer in Kenyon.
Oh, that's cool.
So now he's got 3 possible names. Did we get the first name? Nope, just Dr. Mbanga. So we don't know yet.
His first name is Doctor.
Andrea Mbanga, great granddaughter of his characters, portrayed by several non-canon novels written by William Shatner. Anyway, so much good stuff there.
Oh my gosh, this is so interesting.
I know.
I'm like, my head's
Click
about to
every link
explode.
there.
Yeah, I'll be doing that later.
Jim
Yeah.
Westbrook is asking what the URL of that website is.
Oh, it was like
okay.
Memory Alpha.
MEMORY dash. No, I'm just kidding. It's just Memory Alpha. Just to look up.
We really do it.
I'm not going to say that whole long.
Oh yeah, but it was like the entry for that character.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Just look up Dr. Mbanga, Google him, and that's the first thing that'll come up. But what do you guys think? They're going to have to at some point divulge a character name for the doctor, right? What do you think it's going to be? Yeah, my money's on Joseph. I want to stick with Joseph because that was kind of the first one in the first draft. And also it's kind of, harkens back to Joseph Sisko that we loved so much. What do you guys think?
It's also the name that the holographic doctor picked in the end, right? Wasn't he Joe?
Oh, yeah,
in the
Joe.
finale?
Oh yeah.
After like his wife's grandpa, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I just love this medallion comment. Wait, come back.
I know. I see it right now.
Can't see DeForest.
Oh,
Nice.
Can't see
Oh my
DeForest
gosh.
for the trees.
Yeah.
No, I think
Nice.
they'll probably go with Joseph if they respect what the fans respect, which is the original source material.
Mm.
So, fingers crossed.
So
Or
interesting.
they might never say it. They might just call him Dr. Omega.
He's like Cher.
Yeah.
at least he gets a last name, unlike the holographic doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor.
So interesting.
Doctor Who.
Exactly.
There's going to be a bunch of jokes about that until we find out what his first name is.
Yeah, so the article also mentioned Nurse Chapel, of course, and Nurse Chapel happens to also be one of the new characters. We'll pull that up right quick.
Oh, Michael's got it.
I've got all the
Oh,
backgrounds.
fun.
I saved all those
Hey.
photos. So.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
Nice, Mike. We'll skip, there's Nurse Chapel.
Yeah, you're skipping all
Jess
the good
Bush,
ones there.
she's probably a future president here, Jess Bush.
Mhm.
She's playing Nurse Chapel. Looks like a human.
Awesome
character, right?
outfit.
Where's her honeycomb hairdo?
I know.
Yeah.
That was iconic.
Does when she gets older.
Eh.
I don't know. I'm just happy that they've got Nurse Chapel back and Dr. Mbenga. I think that's really cool that they're bringing back characters that, they had a couple episodes, or I don't know how many episodes Nurse Chapel was in. I think a little bit more than the Doctor.
Yeah.
But this is exactly what at least I want as a Star Trek fan, is a character that was like a trivia answer, or like your favorite 2-episode character, and they're actually going to turn this into a main character and a full storyline. It's something that you can really sink your teeth into. That kind of stuff. It's kind of like if they did like a Deep Space Nine spinoff, and then it was like the adventures of Cal Hudson, and you're like, yeah, Cal Hudson, awesome. I want to find out what he's like, and his ship and all that cool stuff. So that's the kind of stuff for me as a Star Trek nerd that I love. Oh, here's a fun question, you guys. What other characters from the original series that were in just 1 or 2 or 3 episodes would you like to have explored?
O'Reilly, for sure.
Oh.
For sure.
Hmm.
Bailey.
I don't think they do him because he'd be too young. Because he was very young in original series.
Mhm.
Right.
But yeah, I guess the other one would be Kyle, the guy who would often
Oh,
he was like often
totally.
the transporter guy.
Yeah.
Right, Kyle. They might have Harry Mudd, right? If Rainn Wilson is down for it.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Well, I
Yes.
guess it's tricky because Spock. I don't know that the first time they saw him in TOS that
Oh,
Spock
good point.
expressed any knowledge of him. So, but they'd have to just keep Spock away from him.
Yeah, maybe he was just pretending he didn't remember him. So when
Yeah.
because he's kind of an attention whore.
Selective amnesia. He wanted to forget.
It's a psychological game.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Actually, number 1 is going to be a character that was just in 1 episode and then is explored further. And
So-
so is Captain
So
Pike.
cool.
Well, 2
Yeah.
episodes or 3 or something.
Right.
Now, honestly, Captain Pike is who I'm most excited to see expanded on, because that guy's hot. But also, it seems like he's a real good guy. So I'm very excited.
Print him
Okay.
out.
Yeah.
He's what I think is
Fair.
technically called a daddy.
Yeah. What does that mean?
That word to come out of your mouth there, Michael.
He's
Yeah, I'm
always talking about
progressive.
babies and daddies.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I would just
Mohamed.
really
Alright.
love like one of those old Vulcans from Enterprise who might still be around to then appear in
Oh,
yeah.
Strange
gosh.
Worlds.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that'd be such a fun bridge.
I just
We
want
could
them to bring back
Shran.
I just want him to bring back the dog with the horn.
Make it work.
That'd be sad because he died in the original series. We see it before he dies.
Yeah.
There's no
This
trouble.
is the dog's mother. There
There you go.
Yeah. So, Mohamed, we're going to lean on you heavily here
Sure.
to discuss this character.
I'm so excited for this.
Ah,
Me
the
too.
Enar. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I love the way
Bruce-
Mohamed says Enar.
Yeah, I thought it was
There's always so much
Anar.
excited.
Oh,
Didn't
maybe
they
it's
pronounce
Enar.
it as Anar?
Maybe it's Enar. I don't remember.
Oh,
I actually just
okay.
watched the episode today, but I don't remember the exact pronunciation.
So this was an alien race that was introduced in an Enterprise episode, and they're supposed to be
Yes.
like up in the snow caves of Andoria, and they're blind. And it looks like they got a little bit of a makeup reimagining, a little
Little bit.
facelift kind of thing. You know, some things added, some horns and things like that. I don't remember exactly if they had these horns before, but I don't think so. I think all this stuff is a little bit more pronounced. But Mohamed,
Mhm.
could you give us a little lesson
Sure.
on
The Enar in general.
yes? Mhm.
Sure. So they're supposed to be another subspecies, the way Shran referred to them. So they're not completely distinct. And we know they're not entirely different species, and that we know they're reproductively compatible because Shran had a kid with the Enar from that one in the finale.
All right,
of
I just want to
Enter-
listen. It's fine.
Oh,
Oh, you haven't seen
Yeah.
Enterprise?
We're on season 3 currently.
Oh,
so
sorry.
Skip the last episode.
All right.
The last episode doesn't exist. No worries.
It's fine.
Oh,
well,
in that
Mike,
case,
I'll
then
give
it's
you
not
a thumbs
spoiler,
up when
that's
you
where
can
the kid
listen
comes
again.
up. But it's interesting to think of this sort of like other group. I mean, it's almost akin to like say human and Neanderthal, right? Because I mean, Neanderthal, I think most people now say they're separate species, but it's kind of on the edge there. Is it a species or is it a subspecies? Because we have reproduced with Neanderthal. Like anybody who's not of straight African descent has between 1% and 4% of their genome of Neanderthal ancestry. So I mean, it's we can reproduce with them. So it's kind of the
I'm
same
at
thing.
like 7%, but
No. But basically, like Andoria in Star Trek is kind of like Earth would have been back, say, 100,000 years ago, where there's these, a couple of different races. Actually, I guess there was more here on Earth because there was also the Denisovans, but pretend there was just the Neanderthal. So there's two different kinds. They're also pacifists and they're blind. Those are two other facets to them. But they also have strong telepathic abilities, very strong. Traditionally, they're not supposed to like just go in and start feeling what other people are thinking, but they have the ability to do that.
So is this going to be the ship's counselor, I'm wondering?
right. Well, that was what I was thinking, but he's
But
wearing
it's a red shirt. That's true, yeah.
So
Might
no,
be
that
friends
they
with
missed
Spock,
out.
though.
They should use
Maybe
him as a
security.
And
counselor.
then, sorry,
Chief of
I was
security,
reading the
yeah.
live chat. Did you talk about how they maybe evolved based on like where they live on the planet?
Oh, I didn't talk about that. Yeah, I mean, that could
I
very
love
well
that
be
part of your
stereotype.
book.
Yeah, I mean, so they do live underground. So I mean, that combination might be, part of why they ended up, losing their sight. Because I mean, there are like if you think about like naked mole rats, they're they have those very reduced eyes and stuff. So there's a lot of things that live in dark areas that tend to lose their sight because essentially mutations come up, but it doesn't matter. So you can lose the ability for that.
Yeah, and for everybody at home that is just craving the checking out what a naked mole rat looks like, check it out.
Oh,
It's
Aw.
so cute.
oh.
I just want to put lotion on it. Here you go,
They're
bud.
very social too. They're very, very social.
So
I'll tell you
cute.
what's freaky.
They've had the best
Star-nosed
parties.
mole. That looks cute compared to it.
I just like that Anne Marie made a sound when I showed you it. Ugh.
I'm not a rodent fan.
Well, they're very nice.
Yeah.
They're nice guys.
They're sweet little faces.
Anyway, was there anything more to the Anar and the Andorians? Sorry, I'm
Just
looking at more.
refer to Dr. Mohamed Noor's book, Live Long and Evolve.
Yes.
And their name sounds kind of dirty. And that one's kind of dirty too. You got a naked mole rat going straight for the Anar.
Anyway,
Could you imagine
everybody
like having that as a pet with like a Sphinx cat and just you just have a
man.
bunch of naked animals running around your house?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yes, I can imagine it.
Yeah, that's what's happening at your house right now.
So everybody at home that's just listening in, just do yourself a favor, Google naked mole rat, check it out, and then re-listen to this part so you can like relive the noises that Anne-Marie made and the giggles that the rest of us made
Oh my goodness.
when we looked at it. But it looks
Or
kind of
just pull it
silly.
up on YouTube and just watch.
And just to
watch it.
clarify for the audio, when you said horns, you meant like the ridges by their eyebrows. We know that they are antenna.
Wait.
Antennae.
What?
I
No,
don't
the
want
tiny
people
they have,
thinking you meant horn. You called their antenna horn.
right. They have two tiny
Oh,
little
yeah.
horns on each eyebrow,
Yeah.
basically. Each of their brow now have two little
Like
mini
prominent
horns.
ridges or something.
Mhm. Yeah. Yes,
I just
thank
don't
you.
want
Yeah.
people thinking you're a
That they're
noob.
horny.
Yeah, they're like, Ryan, those aren't horns, you
Yeah.
idiot. Anyway, gatekeepers. So, okay, here's another character that people may or may not have heard of. Cadet Uhura.
I think I may have heard of
Nyota
her.
Uhura,
Mhm.
played by Celia Rose. This
Fresh
one,
off of Jagged Little Pill on Broadway.
really?
Mhm.
A lot of Broadway people.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, they are actors.
So are we going to see a musical episode of Strange
Yeah.
New Worlds?
We
Ooh.
actually saw one in a short trek, didn't we?
What?
There was a short trek episode in which Una, number one,
Oh, that's
and
right.
Spock
Oh yeah, that's
sang
right.
in a turbo lift.
Like
So
Yeah.
That's just
never
regular
know.
old Star Trek Gilbert and Sullivan.
Yeah.
what does he say? Mr. Worf, do you know Gilbert and Sullivan? He said, no, sir, I have not had a chance to meet all the ensigns.
Worf did know Irving Berlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, take my breath away. So
Oh my gosh, that was good.
anyway,
It's a different Berlin, Ryan.
oh yeah. So Uhura, that's another character that like when they announced that at Star Trek Day, that was like super exciting. Although I had forgotten that she was fairly explored, the character was fairly explored in the JJ movies, but in original series, she didn't get a ton of exploration. So it'll be really cool to see some more backstory and find out more about the character. And I'm sure it'll be like a completely different character arc than the JJ movies. I'm sure it's not going to be connected.
Maybe
Not
we'll
quite as fanficky.
maybe we'll find out where she learned how to do the fan feather dance.
I
Oh,
hope so.
please
That's
tell
my
me we
favorite.
do.
I love that.
I love the scene where Sulu grabs her in naked time and say, "Come here, fair maiden," and she's like, "Sorry, neither."
Yeah,
Yes.
that's good. That's
Queen.
good. Mm.
It was great.
All right. Now, Anne-Marie was alluding to this earlier because there's also a character named Laan Noonien Singh, played by Christina Chung. So obviously she is some kind of, I guess, an ancestor, a descendant of Dr. Noonien Singh, or Dr. Noonien, but
Khan.
more likely,
Khan.
yeah, Noonien Singh.
Yeah. A con, right?
Because what was the story? Because people were asking.
Yeah, Khan's
How there's-
still frozen.
there's a
Khan's
new-
still frozen.
Yeah, there's a Noonien in the Soong characters, right?
Mhm.
And there's a Khan Noonien Singh, and I forgot. I hope one of you
It's
remembers.
because
Yes, please.
Gene
Good, you know it.
Roddenberry, when he was in an officer, he served with somebody whose name was
Yes.
Noonien
Yeah.
Khan, or had that combination of names in his name, and they lost touch, and he wanted to be able to like reconnect, and he couldn't find another way, so he ended up putting his name in the show, hoping that would like somehow catch his attention and get him to get back in contact with him.
Mhm.
Good knowledge.
Very good. Yes,
Mhm.
but it didn't work, right?
I don't think so.
That's sad, but I love that story. So a lot of people were surmising that this lady is in some way related to Khan, and it's going to have some kind of Khan-like special abilities, right?
What if Khan was just her crazy uncle? She said,
Right.
I'm not a part of that.
By marriage.
Yeah.
There's an interesting inconsistency in Star Trek with respect to Khan. If you go to the original space seed thing, he's not actually a product of genetic engineering. They just said he was a product of selective breeding. And it's only in Wrath of Khan where they introduced this idea that he was actually genetically engineered. So
This is a really random fact I learned about selective breeding the other day. One of the members of ABBA was actually a product of selective breeding in Germany.
Makes
so
sense.
interesting.
Makes sense. Yep.
Wow.
Okay.
That's cool.
Okay. Anyway, sorry, I just had to throw that out because I was like, whoa.
Which
Well,
member
look
of
at that
ABBA?
happening in the real
I don't-
world.
I don't remember which one. I'd have to look back on Wikipedia, but apparently there were like these hospitals where they did it in Germany. And then I think it was
All right.
one of the girls.
But back to Khan, though. My question is, if we're talking about genetic mutation, was it like at birth or was it like later in life? Because I think that Bashir's was later. Right? It wasn't at birth. It's like they decided later
Yeah.
to say,
Yeah, it was
okay,
when he
well,
was
let's-
6 or 7.
right.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
They were
So-
saying he was a little slow because he couldn't tell the difference between a dog and a house or something like that.
Right.
I'm like, that's
Yeah.
not a.
That was a good point. Well, doesn't eugenics
but-
mean selective breeding versus genetic engineering later on?
Mohamed.
So eugenics basically means, I guess you're right. I guess in that sense, if you think of traditional eugenics as it was done in, say, the 20th century and 19th century, is very much we don't want this person to breed. We will let this person breed. That's basically a selective breeding. It's not genetic engineering. Now it's tough because with Khan, because on the one hand, so Michael's point's a good one in that, with Bashir, it was done later in life, but that was also with 23rd century technology.
Mm-hmm.
Khan's had to have been done with 1990s or earlier technology. So, I don't know if anybody was genetically engineered that early.
But so assuming, but it must have had to been done in the 90s, because if it was at birth, then he's like this. We're talking about like the 60s or 50s, right?
Exactly. Before it was even filmed.
Right. So I'm assuming, and I'm leading up to something here. I'm assuming that Khan's, genetic mutations that made him a superhuman happened later in life, which to me means that this, what is it, Lon Noonien Singh could be an ancestor, but not necessarily have superhuman powers.
Descendant. Yeah, and even in the sense of how it was being done too. If they manipulated some of his genes in some of his cells, but not in his sperm or any cell that led to his sperm, it's fine.
Just those normal kids.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, because isn't it true? Like when you're born, you already are born with all the eggs that you're gonna have, like for female, and
for
so
female, not for
technically,
male.
like your grandmother carries it. It's weird.
Yeah,
crazy to think about.
So could have normal kids.
Men make sperm constantly. That's why our mutation rate's so much higher in terms of our basically we give more mutations to kids than women do.
That's so rude.
Girl power.
Men are such pigs.
Mutants. We're like the X-Men.
There you go.
Yes. Yes.
Or for worse.
Yes. Sorry, guys. We create superheroes.
The Y men.
Yeah.
Why men though?
Yeah.
So there's one final character that we really I don't know, there's nothing really to know ahead of time. Like some of the characters, we either recognize them from previous episodes or the Anar, we know something about Anar. But this one is just a brand new character. So there's nothing really that we can guess from her other than she is ops or security, right? Oh wait, engineering. Is that what this little spiral means? Right? All right, we need the chat for this one. I feel like the spiral meant engineering, right? Didn't
zoom in on it more? Yeah.
That's as far as I can zoom. Anyway, so that little spiral, I think, means that we know that Nurse Chapel's in medicine. Singh is, well, she's a red shirt. That's all we can tell there. Uhura, I bet she's in communications. Hemmer has the same spiral thing, so maybe they're both engineers or communicate. Oh,
Jim Westbrook said, "Yep, she's in engineering."
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Confirmed.
Jamal
And-
Taylor agrees.
Great. Dr. Mbenga, of course, is medicine. Anyway, so that's really cool. Command for Una, science for Spock, and command, of course, for Daddy Mount or Mount Daddy.
Oh my god.
I better hope he doesn't watch this.
The Daddy Mount will make you.
Jump, jump,
The Mount Daddy make you.
jump, jump.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, so you guys have any final thoughts on the 7 or 8 characters that have been announced in Strange New Worlds? I am like super excited about it, and I'm super excited that we're gonna have these episodic things where they're out exploring new things every once in a while. It'll probably be like Lower Decks, where there'll still be a little bit of things, going from one episode to the next, but basically they'll be self-contained episodes.
Character
I don't think
development.
so. I think it's going to be more Discovery like.
No.
No. Nah. Why do a
have we heard
repeat
that
of what's already
somewhere,
on air?
Yeah, we've heard it's episodic. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I thought you were just being trans.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
I thought you were just being like Michael.
yeah, you know me. I'm just an idiot. I don't know as much about Star Trek as everyone else in the world.
Whew. The gatekeepers love you. They're like, see, he admits he's an idiot for not knowing.
I think the best thing that I'm seeing from this is you have a mix of old characters who are established, old characters who come from canon but may not have even been fleshed out more than their name, and then you have new characters. Because I think one of the pitfalls of rebooting Star Trek is you're taking beloved characters and you are just ripping it apart and putting a new narrative to it. They get to add on to someone's narrative from established canon. They also get to completely write a narrative for these new characters. So it should help settle a little bit more of the writing skill and maybe cause less waves in the fandom.
Well said.
Oh, thank you. And see, I've been up for almost 24 hours, so I'm just pure sugar thoughts right now.
Anne Marie, so do you have any shout outs from the live chat? Because you're definitely
I'm just
into
reading.
that.
I know, I've been like trying to catch up. So much has been going on. I think everybody's been shouted out. Although I saw Jamal Taylor just got here, or I just saw him comment recently. So hello, one of my favorite New York Trekkies.
Hey, Jamal. Shout out to Jamal Taylor, our buddy out in New York. Well, I guess we could close the book on that. I'm super excited for it. It's got a ton of potential.
Totally.
That's the good stuff is that when they're introducing the characters, you see all the potential that it has. The
people we know are excellent too. Like Anson Mount was a stellar Pike. Ethan Peck was a fantastic Spock, and Rebecca Romaine. Yeah, Rebecca Romaine was really good. I mean, we didn't see as much of her, but she still seemed really good.
You know what I just thought is that usually every series has 1 or 2 or 3 of the muscle, the Worf or the Odo or the Tuvok. And there doesn't seem to be any of those, which would add more credence to the guess that this Noonien Singh, La'an Noonien Singh character is probably going to be the muscle.
Oh.
That's my thinking. I think she might be the muscle, because otherwise the blind Anar, I don't know. Anson Mount could be like Kirk and be out there. Oh, I'm going to go handle it myself. Or maybe they're going to make number 1. Maybe she'll be, but somebody's going to be the muscle. I'm not going to
complain if that happens.
Well, in the original series, there wasn't like a chief of security, right? There was just like
Kirk
basically a bunch of red shirts like kind of hung out with Kirk and got beat up and
human shields.
Then you have Malcolm from Enterprise, the muscle.
It wasn't a very muscular muscle, yeah.
It was lean muscle. It was British muscle.
Right.
Yeah.
We love you, Dominic. All right. So let's move on. We gave our shout outs. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thanks so much for joining us. We have a couple quick things very quickly. Michael Kenyon Rosenberg, where can everybody stalk you or find you or follow you online?
Well, I'm not a piece of celery, so don't stalk me. But yeah, you can. I got a bigger sign now, so I show you guys.
Awesome.
Donate
Yes.
Life. I always need to shout out. Is an organization that's very dear to my heart. I volunteer for them. I donate money to them, and you can go to the website Donate Life America, and no matter what state you live in the United States, you can register to be an organ donor. Interesting fact: I learned this from Eve England, that in Wales, everybody is automatically registered to be an organ donor.
Nice.
Wow.
And you have to opt out.
Yes.
And
That's
if
brilliant.
you do opt out, then you go to the end of the list if you need a kidney or
Wow.
if you need an organ.
They
So-
are
I
tough.
believe
right,
that's like
that is
most of Europe.
So let's be like Wales and like get everybody registered to be an organ donor, because
Be
you're
like
not going to
beluga
use your
whales.
organs when you're dead. Let's face it. Every major religion is okay with it, so don't try to get out of it for religious reasons, people. But stalking me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, especially on the Falling Tower channel.
Great channel.
Falling Tower is dangerously close to 1 million subscribers, everybody. So
Aren't you, like,
please,
3,000
we're
away?
tired of inching along to 1 million. Please bump us up. We're at like 997,500,
Wow.
right? Somewhere around there.
Mhm.
Like, come on, don't make us wait until mid-November to get to 1 million. Let's just make it happen together. Create burner account YouTube channels, like 500 of them, and just start.
No, don't do that, because
subscribing.
YouTube will go and delete them, and then all of a sudden we'll be at
Oh,
a
yeah.
million, and then we'll be like, oh nope, back to
Yeah.
995,000.
Yeah, that's a true statement. So, Katie, where can everybody find you online?
Well, one of the spots is my YouTube channel. So many random fandoms, because that fits my personality. I think we're coming up on 550 followers. So
Yeah,
Pretty
get
psyched
up to
about that.
1,000. Yeah.
I'm psyched. But yeah, on my main platforms right now are TikTok and Twitter, which you can find me find me on both of those at weather_Katie. And yeah, it's a fun time.
Katie answers a lot of great questions from people about weather things. So like today, somebody asked about what makes hail get bigger. And I remember you talking about like, well, it depends on how far it updrafts. I mean, you answer a lot of great questions.
Exactly. And the information apparently sticks. So that's great.
There you go.
You're a good teacher. You say it in a fun way, like Mohamed. Mohamed's great at that as well. Speaking of which,
No,
where
I'm
can everybody
frozen.
find you, Mohamed?
Oh, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all with the same handle, MAF, like in Frank Noor. I also have, thank you for holding that up, Michael.
YouTube.
Oh, it's on
Also
my
have a YouTube
refrigerator.
channel called BioTrekkie Explains. So if you go to YouTube and look that up, actually I have a video it's gonna be posting in the next like week or so. So it's coming up soon.
Oh, we just lost Katie, but that's okay.
Oh no.
She said she had to dip out early. She's got to run.
There's a
I
storm
missed it.
brewing.
There's a storm
There she goes.
brewing. Yeah. There's a storm brewing.
So Anne Marie, tell us where they can find you.
Ooh, on Twitter
And stalk you.
at Anne Marie Segal 1. I'm about to lose my ring light battery. That's like darker.
Katie, you're back. So sorry.
back.
We know you got to run, but if you got to go, feel free.
No, my app quit and recycled. We're good.
Okay, cool.
Just computers.
Okay, cool. Anne Marie Segal 1, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So everybody, you can find me at, whatever, Twitter's like incredible_Husk, or you could just Google Ryan T. Husk and just click on whichever one you want to follow me on. Falling Tower is great. The seventh rule is great. Virtual TrekCon.
Virtual
we're all
TrekCon.
here. Now, what am I thinking, you guys? This is the moment that everybody's been waiting for. It's trivia time.
Hey.
We're going to ask one Star Trek trivia question from the Star Trek Day
Oh, I think I have to go.
game.
Wait, here's my
Okay,
question.
this
Is
is it.
every card one question?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we have like 47 left after this week.
Great. So that was the question of the day. Thanks, Anne-Marie.
Yeah.
That question sucked.
Spoilers.
Okay, so here we go. Here's the next question. I gotta hold it here. Okay. What class ship is the USS Discovery? Don't answer yet. Everybody at home.
Hell. I never know anything about ships.
What class ship is the USS Discovery? Is it A, Armstrong, B, Explorer, C, Crossfield, or D, Magellan?
Wait, these all sound made up to me.
These two.
Or E,
At least 3 of them
Spore
are.
Drive. Yes.
Oh, I do feel like I heard someone say Magellan once.
Okay,
I have no
so
idea.
the answers are A, Armstrong, B, Explorer, C, Crossfield, D, Magellan. So while you're thinking that out, everybody at home, let me just tell you what to look forward to this week. On Monday, just yesterday, the Seventh Rule released our episode, Season 5 of Deep Space Nine, Episode 21, Soldiers of the Empire. So check that out. That is available right now on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel. You can check it out in the description box below, description box of this video. Just click on that, check that out. On Sunday, we'll have another Virtual TrekCon 2 video re-premiering for the big Sunday mini cons, as well as Falling Towers Watch, the first premiere of People of Earth, which is a Hulu series with Melissa Longo as the special guest. Maybe you've heard of her.
Hey.
So check that out. That's also on Sunday. There's also going to be live panels. There's going to be all kinds of good stuff, including a Seventh Rule review of the Deep Space Nine episode Call to Arms with writer-producer Robert Hewitt-Wolf. As you know, all right, we've got scattered answers. We've got a lot of B's and a lot of C's. Do you guys have any guesses?
I'm just going to throw it out there, and just because I don't know, I'm just going to say Explorer class.
Oh, I wanted to go with D, but now I'm thinking B. I'm going to go with D, because why not?
What do you think, Anne-Marie?
I have absolutely no idea.
Then you have to
I'm
guess.
like,
on my ship.
I'm like a sieve about ships. Let's see. I'll
We'll
say.
sink in this ship together. Go with D.
See, I would have said Magellan because I do feel like I heard that somewhere, but everybody in the chat saying B and C.
Not
Right.
everybody.
I think Mohamed might actually know the answer to this. Do you, Mohamed?
I actually don't know. I'll guess Crossfield, but it's a guess.
Mohamed doesn't know. There's no hope for me.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. It's called random luck.
Okay. So the answer reminds
Oh
me
my
of
God,
a
that makes
joke.
sense. Okay.
The answer reminds me of a joke, which was there are these two nuns.
He's
right?
holding us hostage
And
now, so we have to
there are
listen
these-
to his
There are
joke
these
so
two
we can
nuns,
find
and they're
out the
driving.
answer.
They're driving down a long, lonesome road, and a vampire jumps on the hood of the car, and one nun's like, "Oh, Sister Mary Elephant, what should I do?" And the other one says, "Sister Mary Catherine, use your windshield wipers." And so she turns them on, and the vampire like dodges the windshield wipers, and she's like, "Oh, it didn't work, Sister Mary Elephant. What shall I do?" And she says, "Well, Sister Mary Catherine, sorry, Mike, Sister Mary Catherine, squirt. Use your windshield wiper squirters. I put holy water in there." So she squirts it and it like burns the vampire's cheek, and he just gets more mad, and he's trying to get in. He's like, "Rah, now I'm really mad." And then she's like, "Oh no, what shall I do?" And the passenger says, "Oh, Sister Mary Catherine, show him your cross." And so she stops the car and she gets out. She's like, "I'm getting very
So the
angry
answer is
with you."
Crossfield. I get it. Okay, I get it. All right, thanks.
Mike, you can't let people enjoy this wonderful joke.
Nobody was enjoying it.
Wonderful.
It was
Everybody
a
hated
pun
it the
on.
most.
It was a play on cross, but yes, the answer is C.
Wait, what
Oh,
was
yeah,
the first
you can't leave us hanging. How does the joke end?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll enjoy it more now that I know the answer.
That's I can't tell if you're kidding or not, Mohamed, but that's the joke. She says, show him your cross. And she says, okay, I'm getting very angry with you.
Oh,
See, Mike, you jumped on the joke and they didn't hear it.
that's cute.
Let that be
And
a
then
lesson.
And then
for
the
us all.
cross fell into a field. Cross field, the answer.
Anyway. So, yep,
Cross field, the answer, the joke.
that's it, everybody. Thank you all very much.
We'll all remember the answer now.
Yeah, leave us a comment in the comment section below and tell us how much you loved that joke. Also, let us know what you think about Strange New Worlds, what you think about Lower Decks, and what your guess is for Brent Spiner's new character on Star Trek Picard. Thank you very much, Michael, Mohamed, Katie, Anne Marie, everybody at home. We'll see you
Brian T.
soon.
Husk.
Yes.
And when you want to hear really good jokes, put it on the main viewer.
No, don't do it.
Oh.